A committee of Supreme Court judges will conduct a meeting with members of the Supreme Court Bar Association to iron out issues arising out of the current system of hybrid hearings before the top court. The court asked its Secretary General to fix a meeting with the bar leaders after the SCBA objected to a hybrid format of functioning with both physical and virtual hearings devised by the Apex Court's registry, which was allegedly done without consulting the bar bodies. While SCBA sought full resumption of physical hearings in the Apex Court, the court held that the rising number of COVID cases cannot be ignored. Hearing appeals against a Delhi High Court order which had paved the way for physical hearings while asking all courts to have a setup for virtual hearings, the Supreme Court held that the pandemic had posed a big challenge to court proceedings, which initially switched over from physical to virtual and was now on its way back to physical hearings, leaving it for individual high courts to decide on reopening of physical courts or continuation of virtual hearings. The Apex Court asked various courts across the country to consider a request for virtual hearings in view of the pandemic, except when it was being used as a reason for adjournment. The High Court had allowed virtual hearings under exceptional circumstances and will have the discretion to decide on requests made by lawyers. However, this aspect was objected to by the president of the Supreme Court Bar Association, senior lawyer Vikas Singh, who pointed to the fact that many lawyers were seeking virtual hearings who had boarded flights to Goa and other places. He questioned that now lawyers who travelled in flights for hours are refusing to physically appear in courtrooms and claimed that the exemption from physical hearings was being misused by many lawyers. Singh submitted that the filing of new cases was down to 25%, which compelled many young and unsuccessful lawyers to leave the legal profession, pointing to practical difficulties for lawyers in managing both physical and virtual hearings at the same time. He argued that Delhi already had a COVID positivity rate at 0.5%, while attributing most infections to lack of use of masks and lack of social distancing. Though senior lawyer Vikas Singh assured the court that lawyers will ensure wearing masks and sanitizing hands regularly in courtrooms, another lawyer submitted that even the executive committee members of the Bar Association did not wear masks at the inauguration of the vaccination drive for lawyers in the top court. Another petition filed in the Apex Court by a group of lawyers from various parts of India has sought virtual hearing as a matter of right, since many litigants and lawyers are unable to come to Delhi to argue before the court. It remains to be seen how early physical hearings will be allowed, not only in the top court but also in a full-fledged way before various high courts and trial courts in view of rising COVID cases across the country.